Good morning. Welcome back to our channel. I am Kayla, this is Ben, and today we are in Edinburgh, Scotland. And we're actually leaving Edinburgh today, and we are headed to the airport to get a rental car right now. And then we'll be heading to our next destination, more north of Edinburgh. But we'll take you along with us, and hopefully we have some fun.
Hey, you can take me now. Morning, morning.
This is the area we were supposed to find earlier, but we did not. But we're here, and we now need to go find a car rental, which I've already found. That's simple.
Is that it?
Yeah.
A BMW.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Worth the wise. A medium suitcase.
A little big.
Is a little bit big for this car.
Oh, perfect.
Fits just
barely.
perfectly.
Okay.
I immediately went to the wrong side of the car. Immediately. Where are we going first, Ben? You haven't told me.
I know.
It's a surprise.
It's a surprise.
Should I close my eyes when you're putting
No.
information in? So we are headed to a car park.
Yes.
Exciting.
Very.
Just guess it's still a secret. Now we just have to remember we are on the left side of the road.
Yep.
Look at that. He's a pro.
I don't know about that.
We're in the boonies.
For a minute.
Kind of a single lane road.
Very traditional. Like, why are you waving?
I know.
We don't wave here.
I'm the American that's like, hello. They just stare at me.
He's like, on. Get on.
He's like, she's lost the plot.
Literally. Like, what another absolute nutter.
Welcome to the Royal Burg of Culross. This is wild.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
200 yards.
I can sneak past him? No. That's a nightmare.
Shoot. Oh, he wants to go over there? Nice.
Oh, gosh.
Oh my gosh.
To be honest, I didn't mean to come this way. It's just kind of how the GPS took us. I really meant to go through like the more main route.
He's having a backup. Rough.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm in his way or...
I think it's the car behind us, if I'm being honest, but trying again.
No, he's good. Oh my god, how do we get caught in this stuff?
It's all about the adventure. Woof. That's stressful. Was that?
That was fun. It's a little stressful, but we made it. It was real tight. And I didn't mean to come through the town. I literally specifically instructed it to go on the main street to the town. But at some point in time, it just decided that, like, nope, we need to go through the town in order to do this. So that's what we did, and it was a mistake.
Getting caught by a garbage truck was not on my bingo card for today. This is a cool little town, though.
Yep, we're gonna go walk through it.
Oh, nice.
Maybe find some coffee in a cafe.
Nice.
Sketchy.
A little sketchy. Bit slippery. I think when the tide is high, this is probably underwater. This is very pretty, very peaceful.
I was trying to do something special today for Kayla. Now, she has seen a show in the past called Outlander, and I haven't told her anything about like what we're doing today, but we're going to try to see some of the Outlander like filming locations, or like some of the most popular areas in Outlander. And I'm curious if she will catch on. Now, she didn't plan any of this, and she hasn't seen any of my plans, but there is a couple of hints and like dead giveaways. So I'm like waiting for her to mention like, I saw this in Outlander. So I haven't told her yet, but she's just wandering around here, and we'll see if she catches on.
Sorry, I didn't realize you were waiting for me.
No, we got plenty of time. I was just letting you shop.
The photos in there are really nice.
I have no doubts.
They're really nice.
This area is gorgeous, so.
Yeah, this is actually, if you're familiar with Outlander, which I've only watched like the first 2 seasons. I think there's a bunch. But this, I'm gonna wait a second. Okay, I think we're good now. The photos in there are really cool. They have photos from all over Scotland, and they're really well done. But if you know Outlander, which I think I've watched like the first couple seasons before I stopped watching, apparently this palace we're going to next, the Culross Palace, is in that show, and that's why it's popular. And I think it's used as like a Jacobite encampment or something, I think is what the brochure said inside. But so if you're a Outlander fan, this might be a good stop for you. But that's what we're going to try to do next, is the Culross Palace. We got to buy some tickets, and then we'll go over there. We also are going to stop by a cafe and get some coffee and breakfast, since we haven't done that yet. Nothing opens until like 10 a.m. here, so it's we were a little early, but it was nice to walk around. Let's go see a palace.
All right, so Kayla was quicker to catch on than I expected, but all of the places today are from Outlander.
Oh, all of them are?
Yes.
Oh, I wasn't that quick. I mean, I knew this one was, but only because there's a brochure and stuff.
I figured you were gonna get some of the hints, like 10 o'clock.
There you go.
Anyways, do you want to go grab some cookies and biscuits and stuff at the cafe?
We just went to the biscuit cafe. I got my coffee finally, so I'm happy. Ben got his tea, and we each got a like pastry thing. And I accidentally said yes to buying this guide for Culross, but it's fine. The first thing I read in this is that this town has gone unchanged for 300 years. It's used as a film set for a lot of films. Apparently the residents are very used to having filmmakers come and do their movies here, and there's been very little change in the look of it in the last 300 years, which I think is wild, but it has a history of like over 1,000
years, I believe. So very interesting. I haven't read too much more, but I will, and I will give you some more facts as we go. How's your pastry?
Very good. It's like a coconut, like shortbread with like jam. It's really good. We also have a 10:30 appointment. We basically have about 13 minutes to finish all of this and go on our tour.
Of the palace. That's pretty cool.
That's one way to prevent people from sitting on those chairs. Well, this is kind of fun. There's a whole garden back here. This place is pretty interesting. There's a lot of scenes from Outlander here. Not that I've seen Outlander. I think I've only seen the first episode or two. Realized that I haven't watched as much as I thought I've watched. I thought I had watched more than one season, but I think I've only made it through a few episodes. Definitely not to be touched. Very angry.
I like this place. It's pretty cool. Has some good history, and it's pretty. I don't know. It's just fun.
Yeah, it is really hard to kind of talk about. I feel like I'm very uneducated. I feel like I'm not knowledgeable enough to talk about it, but it's interesting. Oh wow, check this view out.
There's not a lot of time between tours. There's like only like 30 minutes, which I feel like is like maybe not enough. But I guess it keeps people moving. So we get to see the second building, which I think is mostly like guest quarters. We're gonna head in and do that. So we're here in Mercat Cross area of Culross, and that means that it's kind of like would have been like the market area of the town. And to my right, I have the oldest house in the town, and it was believed to have been built in 1577. And then behind Ben is a nunneries and slash. There's also I think the nunnery is connected to what would have been like the Seamen's Hospital. And then we have the study behind us, which is like the National Trust study. I think that's about it for this section, but this is a very old part. This town's been here since like 400 AD, started as like a religious village, and it really started picking up in the 1500s when Sir George Bruce came
and established like the coal mine and the salt working. And so he did a lot of good for this town. We're going to continue to explore. It's very old, very peaceful, very nice town to come to.
Majority of these buildings are actually part of the Scottish National Trust, which is why they are so well preserved, because they put a lot of money into maintaining their current looks.
All right, so that was lunch. It was a very local place for sure. Tartan Arms in Stirling. It's a little, I think it's a little outside of like the main area, but it was really good. There's like a bar area and then there's a lounge, and they actually say like no football colors. They're like, if you like, you can't come into the lounge if you're wearing football colors. They don't want that in there, so they're like, go to the bar side.
That was funny. We walked into the bar originally, and Kayla was like, "Oh, my bad. I thought this was a restaurant."
Yeah.
You know, and she kind of like just whispered that to me, and we were like walking towards the opposite door, and there was an older guy in the corner, and he looked like right at me, and he just like nodded and he pointed towards the door because he realized that he was like, "Oh, you two, like the bar's not for you." Like,
Yeah.
you know, he's like, "Just go on, head on over to the." And as soon as you opened it up, it was like, "Oh, the lounge," and I was like, "Oh, this is perfect."
Yeah,
Like,
then it was like lounge, and I'm like, lounge? I'm like, this is supposed to be a restaurant.
she's like, "I don't understand. Why does it say restaurant?" I'm like, "Lounge is perfect for us. That's what we want. It's a restaurant."
The door said fire exit, and then it was a lounge, and I was like so confused. But so yeah, it was a good lunch. I had a steak pie, which was really good. Ben had like a Texan chicken, bacon,
which is
something or another.
Which, by the way, is kind of like a more like local thing. It's really just grilled chicken with bacon and cheese. Mm-hmm. It's not like anything from the U.S.
I think the UK invented comfort food because that's pretty much like all that's on the menu.
For sure.
Which I'm cool with. So that was good. I recommend it if you come. Very, very local. It's a good experience. We are headed to Doune Castle next. So we are headed about 18 minutes outside of Stirling to get there. And I think that will be our last stop before we head to the hotel to check in.
Yep. All right.
All right. See you there.
So surprisingly, this castle is incredibly old, like 1300s old. So it is actually also featured in Outlander, which I did not know, but I'm pretty sure like every old castle and like old place here is featured in Outlander, because I've been told that there's like 7 seasons.
Yeah, there's a bunch.
There's a bunch of seasons.
This castle is also in Monty Python.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure this is the castle from Monty Python.
With the coconuts.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. That makes sense. It looks like that. But very funny. And this room that we're standing in is actually known as the Mary Queen of Scots room, even though they actually don't know for a fact whether she actually stayed here or not. This place is absolutely huge, and it's the dining hall. Steep.
How many people do you think fall down these stairs every year?
Lots. All right, so the actual name of the castle is Castle Dune, but the name in the Outlander show is Leoch, which it's a completely fictional castle that they entirely made up with a bunch of CGI and sand and real props and mud to make it look like a real, like, functioning castle, even though it was probably never looked like that, but yeah, at least for the show it did. Oh, and then the other thing that we were told is actually the prop and set design was actually so good that when people came here, they actually thought that the prop and set was really part of Doune Castle, even though it was completely fake and made up by the prop and set design team. It's honestly really crazy to think that this castle is over 700 years old, which is just like mind-blowing. That's like triple, if not close to quadruple the age of the United States, which is just like, I don't know, it's hard to even like conceive that this castle is so old. All right, I think that we need to head to our hotel to check in. Looks like sunset is in about an hour and 45 minutes or so. So gotta head there and go check in, drop our bags, and we'll see if there's something close that we can do. If there's not, no big deal. I'm sure we have some tasks to do, maybe edit a video. Just kidding. Yeah, so we need to work on at least managing some footage and editing some videos. Hopefully we'll get something out this week.
Doune Castle was super cool. I highly recommend it. Walking around the grounds. Come during fall. I think it's really
phenomenal
pretty in the fall.
Yeah, it's not just the castle itself, because there's plenty of grounds to walk on. There's actually a pretty long hiking trail along the river there. It's definitely worth it.
Yeah, I'd say so.
So, and you don't have to pay if you just want to hike around the castle. You only have to pay if you want to go into the castle. So if you're on a really tight budget and you just want to come see the outside of the castle, you can totally do that, and then you can take a nice hike along the river. It's perfect at kind of like sunset, golden hour time frame. All right, we need to head to our hotel and go check in.
We made it. How do you like Scottish driving, Ben?
It's fun. It's a lot smaller. It's definitely next level. If you are a new driver, it's not the place for you.
Is Germany driving harder or less hard?
Significantly easier.
What about Iceland driving?
Significantly easier. I mean, don't get me wrong, the weather is much more difficult.
In Iceland.
But here, the narrowness of the roads, and it's honestly not even the other drivers. Most of the drivers here are very polite. The biggest issue is like crossing that center line is like a huge no-no in the US. Like you almost never do it. And the only time that you do it is when you need to pass somebody, absolutely. But here, crossing that center line happens regularly on corners, especially with larger vehicles. It's somewhat their fault, but it's somewhat also not their fault due to the size of the vehicle. And so like if you have like less than inches of room between your mirror and their vehicle most of the time. So it's a little bit sketchy in that way.
All right, welcome to the Cairn Lodge. If I'm pronouncing that wrong, then I might be pronouncing that wrong. But we are kind of in the middle of nowhere. It's a very tiny village. It's kind of near, in between Perth and Stirling, if you know the Scotland geography. This is a very nice lodge. I think it's a 4-star. And it is very cushiony, it's very cozy. The first thing I noticed when we came in is that they have carpet in here, which I guess hotel rooms technically have carpet, but this is like house carpet. And I have muddy shoes, so I like had to take them off like immediately because it's like light colored carpet. So, and I already got like a mud spot on their carpet, so sorry about that. But I'll try to behave myself for the rest of the time. First thing we have here is a very nice, very big, very cushiony bed with a couple chairs. The lighting in here is very dim, very cozy. I think it's a very much like a relaxation type lodge. And then we have this whole like tea set over here with all of our coffees and teas. They offer like a really good selection of coffee and tea, as well as hot chocolate, which not a lot of places give you hot chocolate, and I really like hot chocolate. And some biscuits. We have a nice desk. It's a very big, spacious room, not something that I'd expect in the UK, if I'm being honest, because a lot of hotel rooms are a little smaller in the UK, but this is a very large suite. And then we have an actual step down, so let's not trip in the middle of the night. We have a couple of cozy robes and like a closet area, more luggage storage. And then if you follow me into the bathroom, it is like a complete whiteout in here. Everything is white. We have a shower tub combo with good towel like rack storage because our last place didn't really have any. The standard towel warmer, that one's really hot. They're not normally very hot. It's not that hot, but it just shocked me. A towel warmer, this one works really well. A very round toilet, it's like very, very circular. They're normally like oblong, but this one's like a circle. And then the strangest sink I have ever seen. It's like a barrel, and there's like this little toggle. It's like a joystick. Kind of funky, but it's kind of cool. So, and then standard amenities. Very nice, very cozy. I think we'll relax just fine here. So we have dinner at 6 tonight in the restaurant downstairs. And then we do have breakfast in the morning as well in their garden restaurant. That might be it for now. I think we're going to relax a little bit. We've been out a lot today. We might try to do some planning for tomorrow because we got some really good recommendations from the guy downstairs. Yeah, we'll catch you in a little bit once we figure out what we're doing.